Okay, we're starting the vlog up here because I'm currently gaming, but I thought I would start the vlog and give you a little bit of an update where I am reading wise. Let's start with the audiobook. Because I couldn't find one that I was interested in like a timely manner, because I'm not patient enough to like search for an hour, I started to reread the Mindhunter audiobook. So that is what I'm currently listening to. And then I have an update on If It Bleeds. I finished the If It Bleeds story, so I only have that much left. The last story, The Red, is pretty much what I have left. And yeah, the If It Bleeds story was just as I suspected. I don't know why, but I just don't vibe with any of the characters. So yeah, I found it to be a little bit boring, to be honest. So yeah, I did a quick read of that. I don't know. I'm of all of the Stephen King books, except for The Dark Tower, because The Dark Tower is just a thing in itself. But of all the other ones I've read so far, I just do not vibe with the Outsider books, or I don't know what the series is technically called, but I read Mr. Mercedes. I don't know. I found that to be really average, the book, and the If It Bleeds story is pretty much the same, you know. So I only have The Red left, which I want to read tonight. So that is what I'm currently reading pretty much. And then I did start 2 other books, because I got 2 books on the weekend. The first one is the one that came in my Illumicrate Evernight box, the horror book box, and that is called The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. And I have read another book by her. Actually, I think it's House of Hollow. Yeah, I read House of Hollow. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't the greatest book, but it wasn't a bad book by any means. So yeah, I did start with this one directly. It's pretty much a world. It seems to be the current world, but yeah, there is magic. Only women kind of can do that magic, or seemingly can do that magic, and they get the magic by binding themselves to a demon. And yeah, women start dying, and we have 3 characters who need one another for various different reasons, and at some point they meet each other, and then we go from there. So I don't really know what will happen from there. So yeah, I did start it. I haven't come that far in. I think I read the first 2 chapters, so I haven't read that much. But it starts interesting. I like the writing style. I knew that. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Also, it's like a really, really, really pretty book, especially, I don't know if you can see that, but there is like a person, like a skeleton on the stairs and edges. I will show you in a better light later. And then I got a belated birthday present, which is funny because my birthday is in October. But yeah, we didn't get a chance to meet our friends before that, and they were ill and couldn't come to my birthday party in October. So they brought me my present now, and that is Into This River I Drown by TJ Klune, and I already cried. Oh my god, I didn't realize how sad this book would be. I put this on my wish list when I read the first, I put it on when I read the first TJ Klune book, which was The House on the Cerulean Sea, in the Cerulean Sea, which I absolutely loved. So I put more of his books on my wish list from Amazon. But then I read In the Life of Puppets, and I really disliked that one, so I was really confused if I like his stuff or not. So yeah, they gifted me this, and I did not realize that this is a book about grief. I don't do particularly well with those books. I didn't used to be a crier, but then I watched Bridge to Terabithia, and ever since then I'm a horrific crier. I cry for everything. It's annoying, to be honest. But yeah, I did start it. I'm only 23 pages in, and I cried already, because it's pretty much about our main character, who's called Benji, and his father died of like an illness, I think. And Benji still grieves even 5 years afterwards, and he kind of doesn't really have that many ambitions in life because he took over his father's business, which is like a petrol station in like a really, really remote little village where he lives with his mother and his aunts. And yeah, he's now 21, I think, 22. And yeah, he still grieves for his father, and it's a really tragic tale. And so yeah, he starts feeling someone touch his shoulder, and the book goes from there. I don't really know what will happen. I just know that I will cry again and again and again. I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, so I started that directly because, to be honest, I couldn't not. So these will be the 2 books that I will continue once I finish the If It Bleeds book today, because I do desperately want to read both of these directly. So I'm doing like 1 chapter here, 1 chapter here, so they are both not too much. Because yeah, if a book is too emotional, I have to read it chapter by chapter and no longer. But yeah, so I'm really, really excited for these 2 books, and I'm really looking forward to reading them this week. Hopefully I will get another audiobook still. I don't mind the Mindhunter audiobook, but I would like something new. I just am on the waitlist and haven't gotten another book yet. So that is kind of what I'm doing right now. Yeah, it's Monday afternoon already. So yeah, I thought checking in would be the right thing to do. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit of gaming. I'm playing, let me show you, a tower defense game, which is really, really nice. I really love me a good tower defense game. And yeah, I'm parallel to that, I'm cleaning up, which is why this looks so crazy, and reorganizing. I'm always doing that pretty much, but it means that my home gets more organized each and every day, which is nice. And yeah, that is kind of like today. Also, I look like shit because it's raining the whole day, and walking the dog pretty much ruined my hair today. And also I'm waiting for my hair color to come because I really need to redo my hair. And yeah, I ordered that, but it's not here yet. It's probably coming on like Thursday, so hopefully I can color my hair this week still. But we'll see how it goes with time. Also had a really good work day today, which is nice. Okay, it is late now. I'm going to bed in a minute, but I did want to give you an update. I finished If It Bleeds. To be totally honest, I feel like this book was really, really average. I finished the last story, which is called Red, and it's a story about an author who pretty much only manages to write short stories, and every time he tries to write a novel, he just really fails because he has too many words and he just can't decide, so he gets kind of like a writer's block. And then, you know, he starts another try and he starts like feeling bad about the novel again. And then he meets a rat, and the rat promises him if somebody he loves dies, he will make him finish the novel pretty much, and it will be more or less a success. And because the friend that the rat tells him will die has cancer anyways, he like accepts that, and yeah, it goes from there. I like the concept of the story, but kind of, I don't know, it didn't really hit home, which I found to be kind of sad. I can't even really tell you what the exact problem is. It was just, I don't know, maybe a little bit too cliche story-wise. You never know, like probably the red is just in his imagination, but it's kind of weird. I don't know. I just know that all of the stories in here felt rather average for me, but I think I do much more prefer like his really long stories. I have read shorter stories by him that I really liked, but in general I do prefer the really long novels. I do prefer the really long novels by Stephen King and not the shorter ones. So that is fine with me. I gave it 3 stars. I'm happy that I finished it and don't have to think about it anymore. I really like the look of the book. But yeah, I think if you pick something up from Stephen King, this one should be lower on your list, to be honest. So yeah, that's all the physical reading I did tonight, and now I will listen to my audiobook, get ready for bed, and then yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick check-in. The last 2 days weren't the greatest, which, I'm learning to deal with my new situation, and it's not always going great. So, I didn't have much energy to do much, except for working, because I have to do. But I did read like 120 pages of this one, which is the Invocationists, and I like it, but it's weird. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of books that play in like really, really recent times, because here they mention like Goodreads and COVID and all of those like recent stuff, but it's like a lot of fantasy novels, so it's hard in my head to bring those two things together. I'm much more of a person who reads like older books, so that doesn't obviously happen that often. But I like the characters, I like the story so far. It is really interesting, which is nice. We have met all characters now, and they are all trying to. Well, there's a murder going around who kills people, and that kind of brings our main characters together because they all are searching for something, and the corpses kind of help them in a way. And yeah, it's really interesting. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Hopefully, I can read quite a bit more tomorrow. Let's just hope tomorrow will be better. But yeah, that is kind of how far I am. I haven't continued with Into This River I Drown because that is just so sad that I couldn't deal with that on top of feeling ill, That was just too much. And then I started a new audiobook, and I actually already listened to quite a bit of that because it's obviously easier when I feel ill, So let me quickly look up what it's called. Because I forgot already. I think it's called Robocalypse. Robopocalypse is the name, and it's pretty much the robot uprising. And we start at the beginning, and then we get like stories from different people and how the robots malfunction and what is happening. Pretty much, really, really nice. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, my plan for this evening is to listen to more of my audiobook, and then I will probably pick up one of my like really light, entertaining ebooks whilst in bed, because I do want to still chill a little bit. I'm feeling better, but I'm not feeling 100%. So yeah, that is the plan for the evening. And yeah, the week is not going how I wanted. Like, I went from feeling like incredibly great to like not so great, and hopefully it will turn back around. I'm having a lot to learn, But yeah, I hope your week is going a little bit better. Statistically speaking, probably not, but hopefully. And yeah, I will now listen to my audiobook, and I will see you tomorrow with a reading update of like more reading. So, let's have a little chat while my partner's out with the dog. It is a day. I'm so tired, but we did have a great like eating day. We did a new recipe with like filled zucchini, with like soy chunks filled and carrots and stuff like that, Then with cheese on top of that and in the oven, and then I baked some cheesecake brownies, a gluten-free variant that I found in the supermarket, like to do out of the package. They tasted fantastic, so yeah. Eating has been great today. We'll see if my stomach can handle the eating, but yeah, I'm not a fan of cooking, I love baking, I hate cooking. But if I cook something and it's really, really yummy, I'm so happy about that. But yeah, now let's talk about my reading. So, I did continue to listen to my audiobook yesterday, which is the Robopocalypse, I think was the name, and I did listen to more of that. I don't know how much I like that book. I think it is interesting, but we are switching a little bit too rapidly for my taste between people and what is happening by them, and I have a hard time like keeping the people apart and keeping track where we are. So that actually makes reading the book quite a bit harder in my opinion. But I think that might just be like a me problem. I just, if you have different people and they haven't like a really, really obvious different tone of voice, I have a hard time keeping track of them if I listen to the book. Um, then I did read a short story yesterday that I actually really, really liked. It is one of the Amazon short story collection books, and the short story collection is Black Stars, and it is pretty much a short story collection of all Black authors, which I found to be quite cool. And the one I read so far is called These Alien Skies by C.F. Rvizi. I'm gonna put it here. I'm really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name. And yeah, I gave the book 4 stars. It was pretty much like we have two people talking at the beginning, and they are in a spaceship, and they go through a wormhole to like a different planet that they are supposed to scout out and help start a colony there. And they get through the wormhole, and then the wormhole explodes, and they are stuck where they are, and they need to find out what happened there. And the story was really interesting. I felt like it was the first one that actually fit the amount of pages that the short story had. It didn't feel like too much crammed. There was a lot of story, but it felt really fitting for the amount of pages. So yeah, I found it really interesting. I still don't think like a 25-page short story, I still think it's too short for me. I would have wished it a little bit longer, but it fit way, way better than the other ones that I read so far. So I will continue with that collection because I have high hopes for it. Also, I think it's cool that in this book, like all of the protagonists come from African countries. I think African countries. And they bring that culture with them and that names and stuff. That was really interesting because, to be honest, I don't know that much about it. And it's cool to read more about it, and I really liked it. And I would definitely pick up more from the author because I really like the writing style. I just didn't give it 5 stars because for me, I don't know why, but a lot of short stories are just missing something. I'm just not invested in the stories as much as I would be if it's a full book. So that is why I really can't give it 5 stars because I don't know, the same feelings aren't there with when I read a book, like a full-on book. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's wrong for me, but I don't know. It's a rating system that works for me. And then I have another great book, which I'm so happy about. I'm still reading the Invocations. Yeah, and I really like it. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm halfway through roughly now. I do plan on reading more today, but yeah, I think I read 70 pages already today from this, and it is so cool. It's pretty much a little bit of a murder mystery, combined with like witches and a little bit of like relationship building between our 3 girls because they didn't know each other before that, and now they're kind of thrown together, and it's really, really interesting. The main topic of the book is really like bad men and how women deal with that, and the pretty much the dangers that there are for women and how they try to help themselves, but that it all comes at a cost. And I think that is a really interesting topic. I really like the writing style. I really like the characters. I'm having a lot of fun with this book. I wouldn't particularly say it's a horror book, but I think that's just a problem with me and the genres because I feel like a lot of horror books don't feel like horror books to me. This one is a supernatural murder mystery with really dark undertones. But I personally wouldn't describe it as horror, but I love it still. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun reading this. So I will try to read quite a bit more today. I don't know how much I will be able to get done, but I will finish this one tomorrow. And then after that, I will come back to this one. I haven't continued with it on yet. Partly because I love this one so much, so I really want to read this one, and partly because I'm afraid of how much I will cry once I continue with this one. And I don't know if I'm ready to cry at the moment. So that is my reading pretty much. I will now bleach my hair. Hopefully it will turn out kind of okay. And then once the bleach is like seeping in, you know, I will continue reading because I really can't do much other, but like much else while the bleach is setting in. And yeah, then I will probably come back tonight and read still a little bit more so that I can actually finish this tomorrow. Because I want to know what the ending of the book will be. Because it sounds really, like, it's a really interesting book. I'm really, really happy. I think it might actually be a 5-star contender, which would be really, really cool. I don't know if I had a 5-star book out of a book box yet. I might have had, but I can't remember that much. Yeah, no, I had one. The what is it called? Let me look it up so I can tell you. It's called Year of the Reaper. That one I know for a fact that I gave it 5 stars. But other than that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. So yeah, I will see you later. Okay, yeah, I changed my hair color. I'm really happy with it. It kind of feels like it fits me, kind of well. It is not what I had in mind, but it is what I ended up with. So yeah, I wanted to do it two-toned, like split in half, but the color on this side just didn't stay in. I don't know why, so I had to put the other color on this side as well. But it works, so I'm okay with that. But I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a reading update because I finished the book. But before we talk about the book that I finished, let's talk about the audiobook I'm currently still listening to, which is Robopocalypse. And I don't think I like it much. The problem is we don't really have like a continuous story. It's just little like documents, incident reports kind of, and we kind of like jump from person to person to person, and sometimes we jump back to persons we already had, but it's hard to keep track of the people we already heard something about, and then at the end of each report it's like a glimpse into the future of that person, so we obviously don't get anything else about some people, and I don't know, it just doesn't, it isn't really flowing as a story. I don't like it. There are other books that I've read that also work off of the like incident report kind of thing. For example, the Illumine files. If you've read those I really really like how it flows because we have like interviews, incident reports, files and stuff that worked. I don't think it works in Robopocalypse. I don't know. I still have like half the book left, but yeah, I will finish it. But I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't think it's like the pinnacle of like apocalypse books, you know. I think the story is kind of really interesting, but the way it is done is not, you know. And now, I still haven't continued with this one. This one will be what I will continue with next. But I have some really, really nice news. I finished the Invocations, I think. Yeah. I always want to say the Invocationists, but it's called the Invocations. And I gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. I got it, it is an, well, this version is the Evernight exclusive, so from Illumicrate. So I don't know how the book looks if you don't get this version, but this version I think looks really, really nice. We have our 3 main characters on the front here, which I love, to be honest. This came in the horror book box, and I think I told you, like yesterday or something like that I felt like it isn't really a horror book. Well, the ending kind of remedied that. There's a lot of violence in there and a lot of like horror, and yeah, the ending was brilliant. I loved it. I had a little bit of doubts at like one point in the book, but it was like a really, really small point where I felt like there was unnecessary drama, but it turned out to not really be drama, so I was fine with it in the end. But I love the characters. I really, really do love our 3 main characters. I love how like different they are, but kind of still the same in their situation. I kind of love. I mean, it's a little bit cliche, you know. Like a lot of things in here are like really cliche things, but they kind of work. And I also in the end didn't mind how like modern the book is actually. I think it actually did kind of fit anyway. I did not see the ending coming. I don't know if I'm just like really not. I mean, I kind of loved the main character so much that I maybe didn't like listen to the clues as much. But yeah, I didn't see the ending coming. But I really liked the ending. I think it was like a really, really good ending. Like not the ending, but like the main action point, pretty much. But yeah, I am a big fan, I have to say. So I might have to look into the other books by her because there are two more. One is called A Semi-Definitive List of Worst Nightmares, and the other is called Our Chemical Hearts. So I will have to pick those two up because I definitely do enjoy her writing a lot. I enjoyed both of the books I've read by her. This one a lot more than the other one, but I did still enjoy the other one. So neither was bad, you know. But yeah, I read quite a lot yesterday of this, and then tonight I just have to finish the like last 80 pages, and those went really, really fast. This is like a quicker read, which is really, really nice. The book flows really well. And I have read that some people think it's too slow in the story, but I really enjoyed the pacing of the book, so I don't know. I mean, I do think I sometimes enjoy a slower book, but yeah, it worked out really, really well. So, I finished the book. I don't know, I really loved it because I didn't particularly think I would love it. I mean, it sounded nice, but obviously I haven't had the most amazing luck with books. So yeah, I always am like, oh, I probably won't love it. So it's all the more nice if I do love them. And yeah, also I have to say I totally love the styling of all the three main characters. I think they're all really, really cool. So yeah, love that for me. So I don't know what I will do tonight. I have to be honest, my partner just left to meet up with friends in a bar, and I'm home alone with a dog, so I do still have to go out with the dog once. And the dog is gonna be annoying because my partner left, and my dog hates it when my partner leaves. So yeah, he's a daddy's boy. Yeah, so I might just continue listening to my audiobook this evening, or I might read a little bit more of this, or I might pick up an audiobook. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I want to pick up this because it's so sad, you know, and I don't know if I want to have a sad evening. So yeah, I might just pick up an ebook, you know, and read something a little bit more on the smutty side. Might just be in the mood for that. So we'll see. Good morning. It's not morning anymore. It's midday. But I thought I would end the vlog. I'm so tired today. I have no idea why. Well, I had a bad evening yesterday, but that probably contributes to me being tired today. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to end the vlog with like a little bit of reading update. Technically, my plan was to continue with this one, but I'm just not ready at the moment for crying my ass out. So I started continuing with this one this morning, and then I realized that I just not in headspace for a book that will make me cry. So I did not pick that up. Instead, I picked this one up, which is just a black book. But no, I picked up Eyes of the Void, which is the second part in the Architects series, I think. It's called the Final Architecture series, and this is the second one. It pretty much starts where the first one ends, obviously. But yeah, the architects are kind of back. Our crew works for the I can't even really I forgot the name of the Parthenon. And yeah, the beginning of the book isn't from our crew's perspective, but from one of the like bad guys, and he still wants to bring our crew in. Which obviously this information only makes sense if you've read book one, but you know, I really liked the first book. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. So yeah, hopefully the second one will be just as good. I think my biggest problem is that this will never compare to Children of Time for me, and yeah. It's the same author, it's by Adrian Tchaikovsky, but he wrote Children of Time. I love that book. And I think my biggest problem is that this can't compare, so it's not really fair, my like rating. But they're still good. I still like them. It's just, it's not Children of Time. Though the idea is really interesting with like architect type beings who are like as big as a moon, and they rearrange the planets and pretty much kill the people on them. It's a really interesting concept for the story. So if you haven't read it yet, pick up part one. Part one is called Shards of Earth is the title of the first one, and then the second one is Eyes of the Void. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. Actually, I'm really in the mood for sci-fi. Another one. I've read a lot of sci-fi in the last, this year pretty much. I haven't read a lot of fantasy yet because I don't know. I'm kind of not ready for the big fantasy books that I have on my TBR, so I haven't read much fantasy. But yeah, and other than that, I did listen to quite a bit more of the audiobook. I'm like 70% through that. I'm not a particularly big fan of it. We are now having switching between fewer people, but we are still switching between people, and I still don't feel like it's like a nice, coherent narrative. I feel like it's just so choppy, and I don't really enjoy it. I think I might have enjoyed it more as like a physical book, but I feel like for an audiobook, it's just too choppy. It annoys me, to be honest. So yeah, I will finish that next week, hopefully. But it's not a book I would recommend as an audiobook, to be honest. But yeah, that is pretty much the end of the week. I'm just too tired to read anything more today. So yeah, I will end this here before I forget. Before I forget to do this later on in the day, I'm just tired. Also, it's like a lot of work rearranging or like adapting my what I can eat, because I have preciously little left that I can eat at the moment, to figure out what is wrong with my body. And it means that I'm like a lot of tired all the time, because I have to put so much energy into choosing what I can eat and what I can't eat, that it's annoying and it makes me tired. But hopefully, well, I have not next week, but the week after that, I have my doctor's appointment for like my diagnosis. Hopefully, my diagnosis. I might have to do one more test, but like a preliminary diagnosis, pretty much, and then things should pick up from there. But we'll see. But yeah, I hope you still enjoyed this vlog, even though I feel like there was a little bit less reading than the weeks before. But that happens. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!